Whoa, this one is a big surprise to me and I think many other people watching. Okay, so Amazon Prime and Bethesda just released the Fallout TV series back on April 11th. It was just the other day as of writing this, but with certain past game adaptations, let's just say that I, along with many others, did not have high expectations for this show. And I watched the show with my fiance, finishing it the other day, and I never would have expected what we got. That is right, everyone. The Fallout show is actually great, and I want to talk about it. So yeah, I'm gonna keep things short. I just want to rant a little bit because I really did not think things were gonna be as good as they were. Like, sure, the show is not perfect, but most game adaptations are just, well, awful. Halo, Resident Evil, Twisted Metal. I know some liked that one, I don't know, I couldn't get behind it, but yeah, I will say that things are getting slightly better lately for game adaptations. With the recent Mario movie and HBO's Last of Us, and now Fallout. Though I would say that game adaptations have been a rough topic in the past. And recently, there have been a lot of them for some reason. Last of Us, Mario, Twisted Metal, Resident Evil, Uncharted, Borderlands, I mean, Minecraft is even getting a movie. The list goes on, but when it comes to Amazon's Fallout series, it is honestly on the better side of things. Dare I even say, really good. Okay, going back a couple of months, I remember seeing the trailer and I will say that I had extremely mixed reactions to what I was seeing. At first, I was excited. Fallout is easily one of my favorite franchises, and if you know me, you'd know I'm pretty much a Bethesda fanboy, even with their recent track record. Along with that though, the trailer showed some awesome visuals, good looking characters, the music fit, it all screamed Fallout. And I couldn't find anything wrong then. But at the same time, I also thought of things like the old game movies such as Doom, Alone in the Dark, Far Cry, and I really couldn't help but shudder. Then the 11th rolled around and it was time to pop the popcorn, grab the fiance, and see what Amazon had to offer. And well, to my surprise, things were good. Hell, I'd say things were great. The CGI and the visuals, just awesome. I compared it to The Last of Us when watching. I thought it looked great. Not only quality-wise either, there were so many different parts and aspects that looked right out of the games. I just give props to the costume designers and prop designers. And then on the side of writing, things are even good there. I think a lot of the characters were written out great, some even being better than most Fallout 4 and 76 characters. Then there were the awesome locations, getting to see canon Los Angeles, which both pre-war and post-war was great. Then certain places like Philly and Shady Sands were another thing that looked right out of the games and was great getting to see those places. And let me just say, I am not the only one feeling this way about the show either. Looking at both Fallout 4 and 76's Steam DBs, since the show's release, they have seen massive increases in player counts, with 76's doubling. But why else? There must be some other reason this show's great than just graphics. It's got an 8.7 on IMDb and a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes, so what makes it so great? Well, the story, as I said, fits right into the franchise, and I want to get into that with a few spoilers. So again, we are now getting into things, so expect some spoilers. I'll try not to get too into the plot, so you can all go check it out for yourselves, but hey, here goes. So first thing, we get to see a lot of pre-war, and I love it. We see some backstory on Vault Tech, the bombs dropping, and who were behind it. The testing going on in the vaults, and it was all done pretty well, and even certain things fixed certain plot holes and issues I had with Fallout 4. Yes, there were a few plot holes in the show, but Todd Howard tried to explain it himself, so we'll skip over that for now. But things like Vault-Tec buying out certain Robco shares and patents, explaining the differences in tech throughout the states. And spoiler, we actually get to see a scene with none other than the Mr. House, and even a Sunset Sarsaparilla billboard, meaning, that's right, New Vegas is canon, baby. Some may not have wondered, but it was technically unconfirmed until now. Another thing I really liked was the fix to the freaking Brotherhood of Steel. I hated the BOS in Fallout 4. They were not written well, and they seemed to go against the actual goal of the Brotherhood. But finally, they got done right in the show. From scavenging for pre-war tech to the power armor to everything kind of being like a culty religion, it all seemed way more Brotherhood of Steel than even Fallout 4, and I loved it. Another thing was, as I mentioned, the characters. A clueless vault dweller, an overeager Brotherhood soldier, an evil bandit ghoul, and even their own live-action version of the Great Late Dog Meat. What's also awesome is the main characters all feel like characters you could make yourself and roleplay out in the games. And then we even get some secretive Enclave action going on, which we did miss in Fallout 4. There's like no Enclave stuff in Fallout 4. It made no sense. Fallout 4 was eh. But then we get on to the last thing, something that's just, whew, it made the freaking show for me. Okay, I'm explaining the ending really quick, so for the last time, spoilers ahead. The show ends with a certain character making his way out of California and through the desert. And as the sun sets on the city in front of him, yeah, that's right, baby. New mother flippin' Vegas. Oh freaking boy, I have never been so excited for a show's season 2. I am waiting to see what is done with New Vegas. That is the first mention of New Vegas in the series since New Vegas. I'm so excited, but as I did say before, the show isn't perfect, and I do have a couple of dislikes. And now that we went through all of those likes and that awesome ending, I'm gonna move on now to the negative side of things. So the first thing on the negative side of things is, well, a nitpick, and they probably will all be nitpicks, but this nitpick I had was throughout the entirety of the show, and that was a certain over-reliance on Fallout 4 and 76. Things like being set around the same time as 4. Philly was exactly like Diamond City. The power armor was closer to 4 and 76 than the other games. There were assault rifles, but no service rifles, 10mm pistols, but no 9mm. I just hoped to physically see more from the other games, but it just looked like Fallout 4 and 76. To its benefit, though, there were story fixes and things like the Enclave, Mr. House, all that did tend to make things better. And on to the next thing, which is just another little nitpick, and it would have to be another thing that was constant throughout the show and felt like it was overused. That would be the humor. Like, I know that the games were known for their great humor, but in the show, oftentimes it felt kind of corny, misplaced, sometimes like the jokes didn't work, and it did fit the franchise having humor. Some of the jokes did work out, but it just felt like there was too much corny humor, and I don't know, as I said, it was a nitpick. Another thing, it didn't ruin the show at all, it was just something I noticed. But the next thing, well, thinking about it and looking at my notes, that's all I disliked. All in all, Amazon and Bethesda did a really great job, really solid job on the Fallout show. I'm so excited and happy because I just didn't expect it. It's not like a perfect show, like I said, but I expected something much worse than what we got. And watching through, I was excited, ready to get to the next episode. And when it was over, I was just in awe, talking to my fiance about how this is never what I would have expected us to get. And they just did an amazing job. It's probably because they talked about how everyone who worked on the show was pretty much a fan of the series. You know, the director played Fallout 3 when it was released all the way up to, you know, it was just a lot of stuff like that. And that's what made it work. It wasn't like Halo where the people who were making the show didn't even play the game. I don't know. They did well, everything worked out, and as I said, it got a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. It gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Hey, it is so good that I'm recommending it and talking about it. I never talk about shows, so you could take it from me. This show's pretty good. And if you're a fan of the franchise and the series, I think this is a must-watch for you. But this video's droning on, and I want to hear all of your thoughts on the Fallout show. Whether you love it, whether you don't want to watch it, who cares? Throw it in the comments now. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, why not hit that like and throw a sub the channel's way to stay up to date. And if you want to support the channel and more videos like this, along with getting your name at the end of future videos and getting those videos a couple hours early, check out a membership to the channel now by pressing that little join button below. Lastly, if you heard any music that you enjoyed and you want to hear more of my own music, check out BillyTheWhip on any music platform now. And with us here, I thank you all for your viewing pleasure, and I hope you all have a great day.
Billy the boogeyman coming for you. Look out for the pigs, look out for me too. Been chewing them up, spitting the new, spitting the bones, pushing the noose, squeezing the game. Been making that juice, no need for the pulp. I'm spitting that too, rip it through. Anyone jumping through hoops, it's emergency, man. Sending the troops.